This is the brand new Maono A04 Gen 2 podcasting microphone kit. This thing will run you about $60. It sounds amazing. It comes with a microphone, a shock mount, a boom arm, the whole shebang. You get an entire kit, so you are pretty much ready to rock and roll. Plus, it's an XLR and USB microphone, and it sounds excellent, especially for like $60. I mean, it sounds like a much more expensive microphone. All right, so first off, this is a very small, lightweight, compact USB and XLR microphone, which is really cool. In the box, you do get this foam windscreen, and you get a really nice little pop filter. So if you say Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, and you find this popping the microphone, which this microphone definitely pops a little bit, you can throw this guy on here. And now you got your Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers. And if that's still an issue for you, you can say Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers, Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of pop filters, so I think I'm just going to throw the little foam windscreen on there and call it a day. Now, as far as the sound quality goes, this thing will cost you like, I don't know, 60 or 70 bucks at the time I'm recording this. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, the sound quality is excellent. The next thing we're going to test out is how much keyboard sound does this pick up. So if I have a semi-loud mechanical keyboard and I'm typing on that, this is the amount of keyboard noise you can expect to hear if you got this thing up on the boom arm. So now we're going to do our tap test. So we're going to tap on the desk and we're going to see if any of those taps or any resonance is vibrating through the boom arm up into the microphone. So this should really test out the microphone's shock mount. Now we are tapping on the desk, so you are going to hear a little bit of something, but it shouldn't be too much. And from what I can tell, we're not really getting too much of that coming back into the microphone, which is a good sign. So let's go ahead and tap on the boom arm. All right, that shock mount's doing pretty good, because I'll tell you right now, if you tap on the microphone itself, oh boy, that shock mount is doing a pretty good, I mean, listen to the difference there. That shock mount is blocking out a lot of that. So yeah, I mean, it does a pretty good job, honestly. And if you put this on an even better boom arm, let's just say someday you upgrade it to a really nice boom arm, you would probably get even less of that as well, depending on which boom arm you got, of course. I mean, not all boom arms are created equally. This is just a cheap budget arm, but for the money, crap, man, you get the microphone, you get the boom arm, you get a shock mount. It's a good deal. It's a very good deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a quick distance test. I'm currently about a hand length away from the microphone, so let's go ahead and move back a little bit. So this is what it sounds like as we get further away from this. And now we are pretty much an arm's length away, which in my opinion is way too far away from any microphone. But some people try to do that. Some people do. Wait a second. Some people, oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Some people do try to use their microphones from this type of a distance. Honestly, you're going to get the best results being, maybe 4 to 6 inches away from your condenser microphone, depending on the situation. So you want to be pretty close to these things, guys and gals. You do not want your microphone down on the desk. You don't want it halfway across the room. You don't want it up on the ceiling. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and test the off-axis noise rejection. So this is what the microphone sounds like when I'm speaking directly into the front of it. And if we turn this around by about, let's say, 90 degrees here, this is how it sounds. If we move it this way, unfortunately, there is a lot of handling noise on this. Like I said, oh my gosh, I almost dropped it. But yeah, there's a lot of handling noise, so I don't think you would really want to hand hold this microphone, and you don't really want to touch the cable, because when touching the cable, all that resonance comes back through there as well. So make sure you secure the microphone on a boom arm and secure the cable so it's not wiggling all over the place. Alright, so right now you can get this on Amazon for exactly $66. It does say it's on sale. And there is a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 version. So if you pull this up, it's probably going to pull up the Gen 1 version, which is selling for about $50 for the kit. the Gen 2 versions selling for around $66, but my understanding is the Gen 2 is way better than the Gen 1. For the little bit of extra money, if you're going to buy this kit, definitely go with the Generation 2, because I think there were a couple of problems with Gen 1 and they've been fixed on the Gen 2. So this is going to be way better than the Gen 1 version of this microphone. In the last month, they've sold over 2,000 of these. Now, I don't know if that was the Gen 1 or the Gen 2 kit, but either way, they have sold over 2,000 of these microphone kits in the last month. I mean, that's a crazy amount of microphones to be selling on Amazon every month if you really think about it. So, yeah. Okay, so I feel like we've put this thing through its paces on XLR, so let's go and plug this thing into the computer with the USB cable and see how she does on USB. Alright, so this is what the microphone sounds like when you have it on USB. And we are also going to be checking out the software. So there is no headphone jack. Just so you guys know, you can't plug your headphones into this to monitor what's going through the microphone. I mean, most of these condenser microphones, or I should say most USB microphones, do have a headphone jack for monitoring. This one does not, just so you know. But if you download the Maono Link software, you're going to get a microphone gain setting. So this just adjusts how loud your microphone is. You can turn that up all the way or down all the way. And it does a mute button, right? It does have a mute button. So mute. That works very well. Next, we do have noise cancellation. So let's go ahead and try that out. We're going to turn that on. That is slight noise cancellation right there. This is moderate noise cancellation, and this right here is the aggressive. So if you got background noise in your room, you can always turn that on. Now, in my humble opinion, don't use noise cancellation unless you need to. Personally, there's a lot of reasons why it will kind of wreck your audio or can wreck your audio, but if you are recording in a very noisy room, you can go ahead and turn that on, and I would probably put it on slight or moderate. I mean, aggressive is almost guaranteed to cause some issues for a lot of reasons, but anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that off for now. If we click on this little thing that says scene, it's going to pull up the rest of this. So we got an adjustable EQ, we have a compressor, and we have a limiter. I can move this down this way to get some compression. So bottom line is, if you want compression, you can click on these little three dots. You're going to see your threshold, your knee, your release time, your ratio, and all this good stuff. The attack is on 0.5. I'm going to put that attack to about 1 millisecond. Actually, let's go with like 6. We'll put the attack on 6 milliseconds. The release time is on 100. That's perfect. We're going to go ahead and move the knee up a little bit. Let's just put it on like, I don't know, 9 or 10, somewhere around there. And then we move the threshold until we start getting a little bit of compression. So if I want to hit confirm, or if I want to reset that completely, let's just say I completely mess it up, I can reset that compressor, and bam, we are back to normal. Next, we have a limiter. So if you get too loud and the microphone distorts, the limiter should keep that from happening. We're going to go ahead and set the limiter at minus 0.5 or minus 1, somewhere in between minus 1. You know, you just want to make sure you never get too loud. That's all the limiter is doing, is just making sure you never get too loud. If you click on the three little dots, there's a couple of settings. You got your attack and your release for the limiter, and then you got your threshold. So if we move this down, we can just put that wherever we want it. So yeah, that's pretty much the deal right there. 0.07, that's good. 0.05, somewhere in that ballpark is where you want the threshold. The attack and the release times are just fine where they're at right there. Now, if you want to EQ your voice, let's just say we need a little bit more high end, but bam, we just boosted the highs. We want a little bit of a presence boost. There we go. We want a little bit of a bass boost. Now we can come in here and do that. And there's probably a reset button somewhere. There it is. I can just hit this right here and bam, we are reset back to stock. So that's pretty much all you're getting with the software here. It looks like there's a couple of things over here. We got a live stream setting. We got a podcast setting. we got a recording setting, but if we go back to original, then everything is like turned back off. So there's really not much to this software, but honestly, it's nice little software. I mean, honestly, this is a cool little microphone. I mean, you can see how tiny it is in my hand here. It's just a little small little guy. Here's a nice look at the shock mount that this comes with. I mean, this is a really nice little shock mount. I actually love these. I mean, they're lightweight, they're small, they're out of the way, they don't weigh anything. These are really good little shock mounts. I've had a couple of other microphones come with very similar shock mounts, and I've always loved those. They're just really, really nice. Now, when it comes to the quality of the boom arm here, of course, these are just bottom of the barrel budget boom arms. They're nothing special, but I'll tell you what, it will get the microphone up off of the desk. It will get the microphone really close to your mouth where it should be. And you know what, until you can buy a better boom arm, if you even need, I mean, you don't really need to buy one, but, you know, this boom arm will definitely get you going. And eventually, if you do replace it, sweet. If not, hey, you know, if you get this thing and you're happy with it, it does the job, you know what I mean? It gets the job done. So honestly, this little kit for like 70 bucks is crazy good. 60 some bucks, 70 bucks, depending on the sale you can find. I mean, there's always great deals on Amazon, right? You can always find crazy good deals on Amazon on these little microphone kits if you look on the right days. Now, I will put some links in the video's description and in the pinned comment to where you can get one of these little microphones if you're interested. Again, make sure you buy the Gen 2 and not the Generation 1 of this microphone. Now, Maono did send me this microphone for free, but I get to say whatever I want. There's no scripts. They're not paying me. They're just like, hey, here's a microphone, review it. And I'm like, cool, I'll review it. Send it on over. I will give you guys a nice review video, but I do like to point out any good things or bad things about a microphone or pretty much any product that I review. And there are a couple of cons about this. Number one is it does have a lot of noise if you handle it, so you got to be careful with that. Number two, it does not have a headphone jack for monitoring. That's kind of a bummer. I mean, most USB microphones do come with a headphone jack. This one does not, so I can't hear what the microphone's picking up through the headphones. But, you know, I mean, I guess if I want to plug it into the software and all that stuff, I could probably, you know, find a way to make that happen if I'm using my recording software properly. But personally, I like to have a microphone built right in, or I like to have a headphone jack, I should say, built into the microphone, but this one doesn't. Honestly, though, I can't really think of any other things to complain about. I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff about this. It's affordable. The sound quality is actually really, really nice. I mean, I am blown away at how good this little thing sounds for such a inexpensive microphone. Let's go ahead and compare this to something like the Rode NT1. We'll just have both of these on USB because I think most people who are buying these USB and XLR microphones will probably be using them on USB. So let's go ahead and compare it to the Rode NT1 5th generation microphone. So right now you are listening to the little Maono. This is the way it sounds, and let's switch over to the Rode. Now we're speaking right into the front of the Rode NT1 5th generation microphone. This little microphone is USB and XLR, but we are currently using this on USB. That way it's a fair comparison on our little test here. This little microphone kit does come with a shock mount and a pop filter and the whole shebang, just like the little Maono kit, but this one will cost you going on $300, a little under 300 bucks for this kit right here, to where you can get the Maono kit for like 60 bucks. It sounds extremely good for what it is. I mean, honestly, it almost sounds as good as this, and this is way more expensive. So anyways, let's go and switch back to the little Maono kit and finish up the video. All right, here we go. Ba-bam. All right, so it's time for our conclusion. So you just got to hear the Rode microphone, and honestly, I'm very impressed with this for the money. It's small, it's lightweight, it's convenient. It comes with the entire package. You get the pop filter, you get the windscreen, you get a shock mount, you get a boom arm. You get pretty much everything you need to start recording good audio. And I mean, this thing sounds really, really, really nice for a inexpensive condenser microphone. I'm actually really impressed with the sound quality. Now, of course, I do think it sounds a little nicer on XLR than it does on USB, but if you get a budget microphone kit like this, you can just plug it directly in your computer with a cable. And when you get a nice audio interface later on down the line, you can just plug the microphone right into that with the XLR cable, and ba-bam, you are good to go. You got even better audio quality now. So bottom line is, XLR is the way to go when possible. I mean, these little microphones do have an audio interface built directly into them, but they have to jam that whole audio interface into a tiny microphone body. That's why you generally do get better audio quality on XLR instead of USB, because they're trying to fit an entire audio interface and keep the cost down and get it all inside of a little teeny microphone body. So anyways, this is a great little microphone kit. It's affordable. It's nice. I mean, I really like almost everything about it. I do wish it had a headphone jack, but besides that, I'm a big fan. I mean, it does have some handling noise, but bottom line is, it's a great little microphone. Get it on the boom arm. Don't bump the boom arm. Don't bump the microphone, and you won't have to worry about the handling noise whatsoever. It'll just work. It'll be good, and it'll be awesome. You will find a link in the video's description where you can get this microphone and a bunch of other microphones and awesome stuff. So check that out, and we will catch you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. If you hated it, hit that thumbs down, and let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think the microphone sounds good? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. See ya.